is going on? And welcome back to the Catalyst of Development podcast, where our purpose is to help you find yours. And our vision is to articulate your potential so clearly that you're inspired to see it in yourself and begin walking in your purpose. Now, I could not be more excited about today's topic. Like, seriously, this should be a really good one for two reasons. Number one, because I want you to be as successful as possible. And number two, this is going to be a good one because, in all transparency, this is the second time I've done it because the first time I recorded this, I didn't hit the stupid record button. So as I get ready to wrap up after talking for 20-25 minutes and I look over at the screen, I'm like, that's great. Didn't even hit the record button. So I should be pretty well versed with our topic today. And our topic today is actually why people fail, right? And I've broken down the top 10 reasons why people fail, right? And I've labeled them, and we're gonna kind of go down from 10 to 1. What I need to do is I need to add to an 11th, right? The 11th reason why people fail is because they forget to hit the stupid record button. But we just finished up our 2020 goals series, right? And you have your game plan, your roadmap, you know what it's going to take to be successful, but some of you are still going to fail. Some of you are still going to hit roadblocks, and some of you are still going to stumble. And I want you to understand that everybody fails. Everybody, right? Every successful person you know has failed their way to success. Right? There is not a single person out here that has not failed in some way, shape, or form, right? Let's take a look at my fancy little pops that I have up here for those watching on the YouTube channel, and for those listening on the podcast. You'll understand who I have displayed on my desk as I point them out. But all of these individuals, just like us, have failed. Albert Einstein failed. We all know Benjamin Franklin failed. Michael Jordan failed. Abraham Lincoln failed. Good old Walt Disney. Walt Disney failed. As I scroll through some more, J.K. Rowling, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Vincent van Gogh, Stephen King, Oprah Winfrey, all of these people have failed. So guess what? If you failed, you're in pretty good company, right? They have figured out a way to fail their way to success. So the question isn't if you fail. The question is when you fail, and will you be able to fail successfully? And that's what this list is trying to help you to do. The top 10 reasons why I believe people fail. We're going to dive right into it, right? With number 10. The number 10 reason why people fail, they make excuses. Now, out of all the ones on this list, this one probably frustrates me the most. I cannot stand excuses. I'll take reasons all day long, but excuses, I have a hard time, right? There is not a single ounce of ownership or accountability or responsibility for individuals that constantly do nothing but make excuses, right? There's always an excuse. Oh, I didn't have time, or I don't have the knowledge, or I'm too busy, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have the education. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. Right? Excuses only sound good to the people who are making them. When you look at your goals, if your reasons for achieving those goals are not bigger than the excuses you're going to try to make, you are going to fail every single time. Look at today's society. Everybody is so comfortable at being average and mediocre. We just sleepwalk through life and then one day wake up and are pissed off at where we're at, and then we want to look around and start blaming everyone else. We want to start making excuses for where we're at, when honestly, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We have got to stop making excuses. When you make excuses, you are giving away your power. When you make excuses, you are playing the victim. And some folks out there play the victim so well that they need to start carrying around chalk in their pocket, right? I heard one, I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody was like, you play the victim so well that if you were flying a plane and it crashed, you'd blame the road conditions. Stop being a victim. Stop making excuses. Take accountability and responsibility and ownership for your actions and your behavior and get your ass out there and start reaching your goals. The number 9 reason why people fail: they don't have any patience. We talked about this a little bit before in that microwave mentality, right? We want everything right now, at this very instant. I don't want to wait. It's inconvenient to wait, right? I'm hungry. I get on my phone, order something. 20 minutes later, ding dong, it's at the door. Right? I want to order something off of Amazon. Boom, next day it's here. Right? I have a question. Google, bam, automatically have an answer. We live in a world that is so focused on instant satisfaction and instant gratification that people do not have patience. Well, I got a secret for you. Some of the goals that you've established, some of the goals that you've laid out are going to take time. It takes time to hit the mark on some of the goals that you set. And the bigger the goal, the more time it's probably going to take. Right? We look at all these successful people and think that, oh, they're overnight successes. But what we don't see is the days, the weeks, the months, and the years of hard work and effort that they put in to become that overnight success. Some of these people have been working for 10, 20, 30 years. And then all of a sudden they're an overnight success because all we see is their highlight reel. When we follow them on social media or we see them in the news, all we see is their highlight reel. You cannot compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. You have got to have patience if you are going to reach your goal. The reason people fail is because they have no patience. They want too much too quickly. The number 8 reason why people fail: they lack strategy. Now, if you listen to any of the podcasts before, you know how much I love me some strategy. People fail because they fail to develop a strategy. They fail to develop a game plan. I believe I used the analogy before of wanting to see the sunrise, or I think it was wanting to see the sunset. I don't know. If you want to know, go back and listen to it. That was the analogy I used before. Let's use a different one this go around. Let's say you live in Chicago and you're at your house and you want to get to a destination. Well, you pull up your GPS and all of a sudden a map of Los Angeles shows up. So, I don't care how fast you drive. I don't care how positive you are. I don't care how many turns you take. You're never going to reach your destination because you have the wrong strategy. You did not plan accordingly. When you establish your goals, I told you you needed to develop a roadmap to get you there. What small habits are you going to do that is going to get you to your destination, your endpoint, your vision? For those that did not do that, you're going to have a hard time reaching success. For those of you sitting around waiting for success to fall in your lap, you are going to be waiting an awfully long time. People fail because they do not have a strategy or a plan to reach their goals. Make sure you take time to develop the strategy. Number 7, people fail because they don't realize how hard it is going to be. This goes kind of hand in hand with the patience, right? The bigger the goal, the harder it's going to be. The longer the vision, the further out it is, the harder it's going to be. It is going to take hard work and effort for you to achieve some of the things that you want to achieve. You can't be lazy. You can't kick up your feet and just expect things to happen by themselves. No, people fail because they underestimate how difficult it may be. All right? I literally just alluded to these overnight successes, and we see them and we're like, you know what? I can do that. I can, we see the game film. We don't see all the practices, right? We see the end movie, but we don't see all the cuts that it took to get there. We don't see how many clips they had to edit out. You'll see this podcast, but what you won't see is the 30 minutes I spent not hitting the record doing this prior to, right? You don't understand the hard work and the effort that it is going to take to reach some of your goals. You need to embrace that and accept that early on. And to be honest with you, most of the people that you see that are successful, they cherish that journey, that hard work journey, that must give effort journey. They look for the grind. They're excited about the hustle. That is what gets them going, right? It's the journey and the challenge that they look forward to. That's why they are successful, because they understand that anything worth having in life is going to be difficult. Because if it was easy, everybody would have it, right? Do not underestimate how hard some of your goals may be to achieve. Get your ass out there and crush them. Number 6, the number 6 reason why people fail: lack of self-discipline. Out of all the topics on this list, this is the only one that I feel I have a good handle on. And I don't know if it's because of my military background. I don't know if it's because the upbringing with my parents. My father taught me the value of hard work and dedication from very early on. One of my favorite kind of quotes to speak about my father is that he understood that procrastination is the fertilizer that helps make difficulties grow. I'll say it again. Procrastination is the fertilizer that helps make difficulties grow. So for me, I'm very disciplined. I am very structured. That's why I wake up at 4:15 in the morning to go to the gym, right? Yes, it sucks waking up at 4:15, but I'm gonna tell you what, when I wake up and I do that and I set my alarm and I don't hit snooze, I feel accomplished because it takes discipline to do that. That is one of the things that I look forward to. I fast from time to time. Not because, to clear out, there's tons of reasons, right? But the number one reason I fast is because it takes self-discipline to overcome your hunger, to not snack, to not binge. That's the reason I fast, is because it gives me those small little wins of self-discipline, right? People that fail are not disciplined, right? They sit back and they're just like, what? I got to get this done today, but if I don't, it'll be okay. I can just take care of it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And then all of a sudden, they wake up 6 months down the road and they're like, shit, I haven't gained any momentum. I haven't gotten any closer to my goal. Why? It's because you lack the self-discipline to get you there. See, discipline is choosing what you want in the future over what you want now. Discipline is doing what you don't feel like doing. I tell folks all the time, the hardest part about going to the gym is getting to the parking lot. That's where the discipline comes in. Getting up, getting in your car, getting to the parking lot. Because once you're there, right? But the discipline it takes to reach your goals. If you're not disciplined, you are going to fail. Work on your self-discipline. The number 5 reason why people fail: they have a fear of failure. Now, I want to be perfectly clear. I do not fear failure at all, right? It's not something that I fear. It's not like life or death, right? If I fail, okay. I don't fear it. I also don't go out looking for it either. I'm not going up to fear's door and knocking on it like, hey, here I am, dude, come get me, right? I don't search out failure, right? I don't search out the fear of failure, right? I don't go knocking on its door, but when it comes knocking on mine, I'm ready for it. I understand that there's a possibility of it. And if we're going to be completely real, the people that fail don't really fear failure. They fear the opinions of others if they fail. They fear the judgment of others if they fail. The question of, well, what will people think, has crushed more dreams than almost anything else out there. You have got to get over your value of other people's opinions of you, right? You have got to stop sitting at a table where the opinions of people matter more than your opinion of yourself. That's really why you fear failure. You could do a podcast, you can do a workout routine, you can try to save money, you can do all this stuff. And in your mind, you're really not scared of failing, right? Because you're no worse off than when you started. No, what you're fearful of is how people will look at you when you fail. That's why half of y'all haven't gotten an accountability partner yet. Because you don't want somebody to look at you and be like, really, dude? Really? You gave up? You stopped? You fell short? You you want to do that? That's dumb. You'll never be able. No, stop. You need to stop all that. Stop fearing failure. Stop placing people's opinions higher than your own. Number four, the fourth reason why people fail: they're all talk and no action. They're all show and no go. I like this one so much that we're eventually going to put it on a T-shirt and send it out to some of our day one supporters, right? My day ones, my folks that have been here championing this cause from day one. And on the shirt, it's simply going to have WD is greater than WS, and what that stands for is well done is greater than well said. Actions. Your actions speak louder than words. Period. We've all heard that cliche, but I'm going to tell you what, it's true. Because if you tell me you want to get healthy, if you tell me you want to start working out, but you never go to the gym, I'm going to believe your actions and not your words. If you tell me you want to start saving money and you want to start investing, but you're going out and you're blowing money and you're never putting anything away, I'm going to believe your actions. If you tell me you want to be kinder and you want to start building relationships and you want to start having family time, but you're still out there ripping running the streets, or you're still being callous towards people and mean to people and rude and just very passive aggressive, I'm going to believe your actions and not your words. See, when your actions and your words don't match up, people are always going to believe your actions. Being all talk and no action is kind of similar to being busy but not productive, right? Have you ever been so busy at work, right, where you're ripping and running around and you're putting out this fire and you're handling this tasker, and then, oh no, I got to handle this tasker, and then I have to answer this question, and then all of a sudden, oh, my boss needs this, and you get home and you are exhausted, like you are mentally drained, and then somebody asks you, hey, what did you do today at work? And you're like, shit, I don't know. Yeah, that's because you were busy and not productive. I used to have that problem all the time, right? Which is why I started the habit tracker and the checklists and things like that, right? Because I needed to make sure that in my busyness, I was being productive, right? You need to be productive and not busy. You need to be action and not talk. Stop running your mouth and start running your feet. The number 3 reason why people fail: they give up. Now, I need you to understand that when I say give up, I mean pulling back. When I say give up, I mean the lack of flexibility and adaptability, right? Because we all know when we start walking in our purpose, our goal may change, right? Our vision may shift. Our dream may look different once we start traveling down that path because things start opening up to us. But that doesn't mean you throw in the towel. That doesn't mean you give up because all of a sudden it's different. No, you got to be flexible and adaptable enough to pivot. I love this word, pivot, right? Don't give up, pivot, right? I laugh when I say that word because my wife is a huge Friends junkie, right? And every time I hear the word pivot, I always think of Ross and Chandler trying to carry the couch up the stairs, and Ross is like, pivot, pivot. So you need to learn how to pivot, right? They always say in life there's 2 guarantees: death and taxes. Well, they need to add a third to that list, and that's change. Things change. Shit happens. You need to be flexible and adaptable enough to pivot, right? Say it with me. Pivot. That is how you handle it. But giving up Giving up gets you nowhere. Throwing in the towel gets you nowhere. People fail because they give up instead of pivoting. The number 2 reason why people fail: self-doubt. They do not believe in themselves enough. And out of all the things on this list, I think this is one of the biggest challenges to our society today, right? Because in a world that profits off of telling you you are not good enough, having belief in yourself is a rebellious act. And I need you to be rebellious. I need you to believe in yourself, because there are going to be times when nobody else around you believes in you. So you better believe in yourself. Life is hard enough as is. Why the hell would you wake up every day and punch yourself in the stomach to make it even harder? You have got to believe in yourself. Society has told you not to, right? And if you don't believe me, pay attention to the next time that you're watching TV and look at the commercials and watch subliminally what they tell you, right? Read in between the lines. Hey, you know what? You should try this new workout equipment because you're not good enough. Hey, you know what? You should come to our school because you're not educated enough. Hey, you know what? You should vacation here because you don't take your family to nice enough places. Hey, you should do this, or you should try that, because you're not good enough the way you are. And subconsciously, we have started to believe that to the point where we don't even believe in ourselves enough. I can tie in something else to this. Because we lack self-belief, because we lack self-esteem, we set goals sometimes that even we don't believe we deserve to reach. That blows my mind. The fact that you don't think you deserve something. You don't think you deserve to reach this goal or that goal because of maybe something you did in the past or a mistake you made, right? You are not your mistakes of the past. You are not the things that you've done wrong. You are not. You are more capable and have more potential than you ever give yourself. I need you to start believing that. I can do all things. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you actually started believing that? Man, it's called self-esteem and self-belief for a reason. It comes from yourself. But self-doubt is the number 2 reason why people fail. Which brings us to numero uno. The number 1 reason why people fail: they don't even try. Now, I don't even know if I need to go off on a tangent on this one, right? Because it's kind of self-explanatory. People fail because they don't try. And why don't they try? I don't know. It could be a combination of the previous 9 things I've already addressed. It could be a combination of their upbringing. It could be a combination of their thought process. It could be a combination of their mindset, their attitude, their laziness. I don't know. But you are guaranteed to fail when you don't try. I think it was Wayne Gretzky who said, "I missed 100% of the shots I never took." Yeah. Spot on, Wayne. Right. You've got to at least try. Put one foot in front of the other. Take the risk. We had a call to action during the last podcast. Take the risk. And I said emphatically that if you think taking the first step is risky, if you think that that trying is risky, wait till life hands you the bill for not trying. And that bill will only be paid with regret. I used to go to veterans homes all the time, and I used to actually take my kids there all the time. But now that they're a little bit older, we've gotten away from it, and maybe it's time to bring it back, right? Because the one thing that I would always ask my kids to do is to sit down and talk with some of the veterans in the veterans home and ask them, what are some of the things that you would go back and change? What are some of the things, do you have any advice for me, right? If you could give me one piece of advice, what would it be? And it was always the same. Live more, take risks, be with family, uh, focus on the small things, because in the end, it's the small things that will be the big things, right? Don't mistake small with insignificant. All they would tell them is to basically live a life free of regret, right? Take the chance, take the risk. And that is exactly what number one comes down to. Do something, because when you don't try, you fail. So that's it. That is my top 10. Now, as always, I know I probably missed something. So I'm going to ask you to chime in and let me know, what did I overlook? What did I miss? What isn't on this list that should be? Or what's on this list that you faced and have overcome? Right? Share that. Share that with the group. That is how we develop together. That is how you become a catalyst. Right? Share your experiences, your life lessons, your mistakes. Look, I don't have enough time in my life to make every single mistake on my own. So I need to start learning from others. So if you have something that you overcome, share it. Share it with the rest of us, right? Allow us to learn and grow from you. Be a catalyst for us. Be a catalyst for our development and growth. Your homework is pretty simple. I want you to review these 10 items. And one, identify things that you've struggled with in the past and how you're going to overcome them if you face them again. Two, identify things you may face in the future. What could be potential obstacles? What could be potential hiccups that you run into? And then devise your plan or your strategy to get around them, to navigate them. How are you going to persevere and overcome when these things happen? Because trust and believe, they will. I want you to be successful. I want to be successful. Right? The way we're successful is knowing why we're not successful. So that wraps us up, right? Why people fail, the top 10 reasons I believe people fail. Quick recap. Number 10, they make excuses. Number 9, they don't have enough patience. Number 8, they lack strategy. Number 7, they don't realize how hard it's going to be. Number 6, they lack self-discipline. Number 5, they fear failure. Number 4, they're all talk, no action. Number 3, they give up. Number 2, they don't believe in themselves. And number 1, they don't even try. So that wraps up this episode. I really hope you gotten something out of this. I really hope it was value added for you. Thank you so much for spending time with me again. As always, smash that subscribe button. Follow us so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Share this with people who you feel need this in their lives, right? Continue to be a catalyst. Continue to keep championing the change in society that we all want to see. And thank you so, so much for your time. As always, I appreciate you allowing me to invest in your development. And until next time, continue unlocking the code to your fullest potential. Be a catalyst of development, not only for yourself, but for all those around you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care, and we'll see you next Monday.